Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we are trying out the worst ALOLAN Pokemon in the Great League, GUMSHOOS. GUMSHOOS is a pure normal type Pokemon with the moveset of Bite, Crunch, and Rock Tomb. GUMSHOOS is ranked number 695 in the Great League and has only a 22% win rate. To win any games, GUMSHOOS is going to need a lot of help, so we have paired it up with a Medicham lead and Lickitung as our third. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out the worst ALOLAN Pokemon in action in the Great League. Hopping to the first match, picking up a great lead Medicham into Sirfetch'd. And even better, the fact that they're staying in means that they're probably weak to Medicham in the back as well. I will respect the potential Brave Bird, so I do commit the shield, but unfortunately we do get baited. I'm going to try and bait back, so I am going to go for the power-up punch, hoping for the shield, but the opponent calls it and they're able to reach a second Leaf Blade. So even though this is a very good lead for Medicham, I make all the wrong calls and I leave down a shield. The opponent brings in a Azumarill, and here I definitely want to pivot out of this matchup because the fact that they stayed in means they're probably weak in the back. So we land a Psychic, and in comes GUMSHOOS. Time to show the world what you're made of. Time to prove that ranking wrong. GUMSHOOS taking forever to charge with Bite. We get to a Crunch, and it doesn't hit very hard. Hey, you know what? Sometimes Pokemon don't hit very hard, but at the very least they're tanky. Oh wait. So GUMSHOOS does not hit very hard, doesn't get same type attack bonus on its moves, and on top of that, is very glassy. So it is the perfect trifecta of bad Pokemon. We're able to farm down the Galarian Stunfisk, back in comes the Azumarill, and now they have two shields. They have to start shielding everything, and you know what? I am going to keep baiting. We are going to keep going for these power-up punches. We should be able to grab the final shield here. Now we can safely bring in Lickitung, and that is a good game. Picking up a great lead in the next match, Medicham into Registeel. The opponent safe switches into Toxicroak, and suddenly things get a lot more complicated. I have two normal types in the back. I don't really want to switch either into this Toxicroak, so I kind of have to stay in. We're able to successfully shield bait with Power Up Punch, which is massive, and then I will commit the shield, as the Sludge Bomb would do a significant amount of damage. I am at over a Psychic. We're going to try our luck at baiting again, but the opponent calls it. I panic. I try and go for a second power-up punch, but I end up losing CMP. And suddenly, what started out as a promising lead is rapidly going off the rails. This power-up punch is a massive waste of energy, so now my Medicham is basically dead, has no energy, and it is my only counter to Registeel. So things are not going well. They bring in Registeel. At this range, I do survive a Focus Blast, so I'm expecting them to just go double Zap Cannon to try and debuff my attack, so I throw the Body Slam right away before they have the chance to debuff me. Going for a move, it is the Zap Cannon, we tank that no problem, but then after debuffing me, the final Pokemon is revealed as Pidgeot. I'm going to throw this Body Slam just to try and stall out the timer, see if I can bank a move, and then it's all up to GUMSHOOS. Come on GUMSHOOS, it's time to prove the haters wrong. I'm going to call Feather Dance. Hopefully we can correctly call this. We do, but that still does so much damage. Can we get to a charge move? We cannot. Again, Bite generates energy incredibly slowly, and we do get taken out. We have the very low health Medicham, and we do have a move loaded on Lickitung. We bring in Lickitung. Lickitung is going to be going for the Body Slam. Body Slam takes out the Pidgeot, and now the question is, can Medicham clutch? Medicham is very low on health. They're going to have to try and farm down. Registeel does reach a move. In this situation, they need to be going for the Zap Cannon to lower my attack, which they do, but I'm going to be able to raise that attack back up with the power-up punch. Are we going to be able to farm down? This will be very close. We cannot, and we get farmed down. Hopping to the next match, sending Medicham into Shadow Flygon. I absolutely love the spice. We try and catch a Dragon Claw onto Lickitung. The opponent holds onto their energy. They bank a ton of energy, and then they bring in Bouffalant. Unfortunately, Bouffalant is double resisting our licks, so this is a pretty poor matchup. Thankfully, we do have a decent energy lead, so we're able to reach a second Body Slam before they Skull Bash, and we're actually able to grab a shield. Honestly, I am thrilled with grabbing an early shield here. I'm not willing to shield the Lickitung. Skull Bash does massive damage and buffs their defense. I'm going to go for a body slam of my own and then try and preserve the Lickitung for a sack swap in the endgame, aggressively switch back into the Medicham, going for the farm down, and they're just able to reach a move at the last second. I'm fine with committing the shield in case it's the Skull Bash, only ends up being a Stomp, and we're able to farm down, and the opponent brings in Noctowl as their final Pokemon. I decided to go for the Power-Up Punch. Noctowl is very bulky, so honestly, I want to try and boost the damage of this Psychic, and then we're going for the Psychic. Unfortunately, they do see through my strategy, and they decide to commit the shield. You know what? I'm gonna let this go. This is a scary sentence. We are gonna trust in GUMSHOOS to close out this match for us. We should be able to tank the Sky Attack. It will do some significant damage though. They bring in Flygon, and we're able to catch on to Lickitung. We may have a chance. If GUMSHOOS is able to farm down the Flygon before they reach Dragon Claw number 3, we may have a chance to take out Noctowl. GUMSHOOS commits the shield, going for the farm down. We're able to farm down. Can GUMSHOOS get to the crunch versus Noctowl? Well, yes, we can. The question is, does this KO the Noctowl? Crunch doesn't KO, and we get farmed down. Such a close game. Picking up the Nightmare lead in the next match, Medicham into Trevenant. I save switch into GUMSHOOS. The opponent stays in to go for a Seed Bomb, but they take a lot of bite damage in the process. Seed Bomb does half of GUMSHOOS' health, and then they bring in Walrein. Unfortunately, GUMSHOOS not able to get to a crunch. Walrein easily able to outpace, and they take us out. We've seen Trevenant and we've seen Walrein, so I'm fully expecting a Registeel in the back, and if that's the case, I'm going to need a ton of energy on Medicham, so I'm going to fully commit to the farm down. I do survive this Icicle Spear, so I don't have to shield it, and then I'm going to be able to farm down, and we leave with a ton of energy loaded. So when that Trevenant comes back in, I am going straight for the Psychic to hopefully grab a shield. They wait their clock, back in comes Trevenant, going straight for the Psychic, able to grab the shield, and now it's Lickitung time. In comes Lickitung, and the Trevenant stays in to go for a Seed Bomb. This misaligns our switch clocks, and now that I see its Registeel in the back, this gives me an opportunity. I have a loaded Power-Up Punch on Medicham, so I just need to stall this switch clock with Lickitung long enough that I can bring back in the Medicham, land the Power-Up Punch, and try and counter it down. We're able to go for Body Slam number 2 as they reach a move, and I'm going to start shielding everything. These moves from Registeel will do more than anything from Trevenant. Our switch clock is almost up. There it is. We're able to instantly switch back into Medicham and go straight for the Power-Up Punch. Power-Up Punch goes unshielded. We're doing big counter damage, trying to farm down. They're able to switch out at the last second, but we're able to get a Power-Up Punch for the road, and the Trevenant shields it as well. And at this point, despite basically being countered mon for mon, we are going to be able to get the win. Power Whip gets the KO. We still have a shield left for Lickitung. Lickitung shields up the Zap Cannon, licks down, and that's a good game. Hopping to the next match, leading Medicham into Shadow Drapion. This is a pretty nice lead for us since we do have Power-Up Punch, but if possible, I do want to try and bait the Ice Punch so I can grab a shield. For some reason, I farm up one past what would have been an Ice Punch. Not entirely sure why, but whatever it was, it did the trick as we were able to grab a shield. They go for a crunch, I'm going to let the first one through, and then I should be able to throw one Power-Up Punch and counter down before they reach crunch number 3. So I am going to throw one counter there, and then we're going to go for the Power-Up Punch, and from here, we are going to be able to counter down before they reach another move, so we leave with our attack double boosted versus whatever they have in the back. It's Trevenant, I'm going to save switch into GUMSHOOS, and we bait out Galarian Stunfisk in the back. So at this point, this game is already over, the opponent just doesn't know it. They go for a Rock Slide, that is a non-stab Rock Slide, doing like 60% of GUMSHOOS' health. Absolutely unreal how glassy this Pokemon is. At this point, I don't shield a thing on GUMSHOOS. I just let it go down. We have Medicham with a Power-Up Punch loaded. We're going to be able to take care of this Galarian Stunfisk. And from here, Lickitung obviously is going to be able to absolutely destroy Trevenant. In comes the Trevenant, and we're able to bring in Lickitung. Looks like the Trevenant is going to try and play this out. They do have a decent energy lead, but Lickitung is just absolutely inevitable in this matchup. You can go for Seed Bomb after Seed Bomb, and Lickitung just genuinely doesn't care. I am going to go for the Body Slam bait here, expecting the shield. They actually do call it, which is a decent play, but we're going to be able to farm all the way down since we were able to land that Body Slam damage. We don't have to shield the Seed Bomb. Lickitung able to farm down, and that's a good game. Hopping to the next match, leading Medicham into Azumarill, and this is an absolutely terrible lead to see since both Medicham and Gumshoos have bad matchups. I do switch into Gumshoos to try and catch the play rough. I'm not able to do so, but they do end up throwing energy anyways. They go for the Ice Beam. That still does a ton of damage, and then in comes Venusaur. Venusaur tries to go for a farm down, and no, your eyes are not deceiving you. Gumshoos actually made it to a charge move, and were able to get a shield. Unfortunately, this Venusaur is absolutely loaded. They go for the Frenzy Plant, and I'm going to go for the Psychic. I am expecting them to let this go down since they do have a good matchup in Azu, but they decide to commit the shield on the Venusaur. And at this point, I'm thinking the win con may be 2-shield Lickitung if there's a win con whatsoever. So we are going to bring in Lickitung. I am going to get outpaced, but they decide to bank a move on Venusaur, and back in comes the Azumarill. I'm going to tank the first one. It is a play rough, which is not the best. Was hoping that they would bait and go for the Ice Beam, but we still do survive it. And then I'm going to go for the Power Whip. Power Whip does get them quite low, and at this point, I'm thinking I'll probably need energy to take out whatever's in the back. So I'm going to shield once. We are going to fully commit to the Lick Down, and then hopefully with a lot of energy, we can beat whatever is in the back. They are waiting their timer, and it is Talonflame, and I am going to need 3 Body Slams. I'm going to try and time my charge moves as carefully as possible, throwing 4 licks each time, so that way I'm maximizing the amount of energy that I can get. Body Slam number 2 gets them low. Lickitung able to outpace by a turn and get to Body Slam number 3. Down goes the Talonflame. The question is, can we take out the Venusaur? But Venusaur has energy. Can we reach a move before we get farmed down? This is going to be very close. Lickitung does get farmed down, and we lose a heartbreaking match. Hopping to the final match, leading Medicham into Unova Stunfisk. The opponent instantly save switches into Talonflame, and honestly, I don't have a great response to a Talonflame save switch, so I am going to stay in, and then hopefully call the Flame Charge. It is the Flame Charge, and then I'm going to fire back with the Psychic. Psychic will do a lot of damage if it lands, which it does, and then I swap into Gumshoos, and Gumshoos is able to bite down before they reach their second Flame Charge. Back in comes Unova Stunfisk, but with an energy lead, Gumshoos almost able to reach a charge move, but I think we should tank the Mud Bomb. That Mud Bomb does way more damage than a neutral Mud Bomb ever should, but we're able to reach a Crunch. Crunch connects and is actually able to do some okay damage. I'm going to let Gumshoos go down. I don't know what they have in the back, so I am going to bring in the Lickitung, so that way I can preserve the Medicham in case it's something weak to Medicham, but it is their own Medicham, and unfortunately, they throw after 5 counters, so this is a power-up punch Medicham. I'm going to be going for the Body Slam here. My guess is, they have 2 shields, they kind of have to start shielding, but they actually let the first one through. And now that they did that, I switch back into my own Medicham, and I'm going to try and counter them down. I go for the power-up punch, we're able to grab a shield, and now they're forced to shield resisted power-up punches because they let that Body Slam through. The game lags quite a bit. I try and go for another power-up punch, but I lose CMP. I should barely survive this, and then we're able to get off another power-up punch of our own. This will be getting them quite low. We grab the second shield, and from here, we should be in a very good spot, as Lickitung will be able to survive this power-up punch and then lick down. And I'm going to save the shield in case Ufisk gets to a move. They bring back in Unova Stunfisk, and I'm going for the Body Slam. I don't think this KOs, but it will get it quite low, and they are able to reach a final move. All they have to do is lick down. The Medicham should be in a range where a single lick KOs. Come on, Lickitung. Able to get the farm down, and that's a good game. And now some final thoughts on Gumshoos. Well, in a shocking turn of events, it turns out if you run a Pokemon ranked in the bottom 100 of all Great League Pokemon, it's gonna be bad. As we learned, Gumshoos basically did nothing. The wins that we got were basically Medicham and Lickitung being awesome, and then primarily just using Gumshoos to absorb energy. So all in all, Gumshoos definitely a Pokemon that you can avoid building, as honestly, it's going to be much more of a hindrance than a help. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.